Yeah, and we didn't have to do it. But okay, welcome to Words from My Faith. It's sports, and we've got 3 stories for you tonight. Hope you like them. It's going to be Adrian Peterson rejoins the Vikings, Cam Newton re-ups his deal, and FIFA's all taking bribes all the time, everywhere, all day long, all over the world. So if you'd like to play the World Cup in your backyard, it just takes a couple $1 million. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Words from My Face. My name is Brian. With me, as always, producer extraordinaire Brendan.
You.
And we have returned. We have not been together as a team for the past couple weeks. There's been lots of plagues, and Brendan beat Chewbacca in chess. It shouldn't happen that way. It's not good. Don't beat Chewbacca in chess ever again, Brendan.
Hey, at least he got us that cure for your death.
You did bring me back to life just so I could see your pain. He did. That little known fact about Chewie. He can sometimes raise people from the dead. Not all the time. Sometimes.
I think it's just like if you're mostly dead from his infliction. Like sometimes I think he doesn't entirely kill people.
Yeah.
He'll
But
like,
I had to play.
You're mostly dead in case I want to bring you back later to watch something else I do.
I had the Wookiee plague that pretty much killed me. Brendan beat Chewie in chess, and so he went down for the count. So, yeah, but we're back together. And, you should have heard our conversation. Like, we're 45 minutes late right now, and that's because we were talking about what type of tea would be best to cure a sore throat. And then I discussed how I didn't like any teas or warm drinks in general. So that was podcast gold.
Like, I can't think of many other
We went through
drinks
everything. We went through coffee. Nope, don't like it. Tea. General, don't like it unless it's sweet, and then it's not real tea. Apple cider, hot chocolate. I don't know if we're missing any. Warm milk, not a fan.
Warm beer. He doesn't like warm beer either.
Who likes warm beer? Warm sake. Nope, don't like it. I can't. That's it. That's all the warm drinks I can think of.
Hot water.
I especially don't like hot water. I like to take a warm shower. Yes, I just don't like to drink hot water. Like, I just believe, I don't know, it's just somewhere deep down inside me, I believe all drinks should be cold. That's just the natural way of doing it.
I mean, that's certainly the American way of doing things.
Yeah, well, I mean,
especially when you go down to a hot summer day ball game somewhere, you want to have a little cool, refreshing beverage to help your viewing pleasure, I guess.
Nobody says a warm, refreshing beverage. And what is a beverage if not to be refreshing? So it has to be cool, right? I mean, since they invented the refrigerator, everything should be cold.
Everything?
Almost everything.
I think meats should always be warm.
Well, yeah, but okay, not like drink-wise, though.
Okay.
I'm trying to even think of anything I like at room temperature, and I don't. I really don't. I don't know. Call me weird. Put it in comments down below. Shoot us something at wordsmyface.com. Let me know what warm drink I should be enjoying with this sore throat of mine, and I will tell you that I dislike it, just because right now it's a matter of I've already stuck to my guns on this, and I can't change my mind. I'm a stubborn character, so. But you can go ahead and try to change my mind.
But if you happen to be like, I don't know, a chef or some masterful maker of warm drinks, and you send us a special recipe or just send us a bottle of something and say warm it up, hey, we'll make sure Brian tries it.
I will try it. I will try it on air. That's right. I'll give you a plug for all 5 people to see. When I say 5,
more
I mean
people
5
in the
million.
future.
But yeah, so it is the sports night tonight, and since you can tell it's a slow sports night, that's why we're just happily doing idle chatter. But let's kick it off and let's talk some NFL.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun.
Bing bom.
I love that's our new NFL thing. Bing bum. But
no infringement.
Yeah, so let's start it off. And Adrian Peterson, he has recently rejoined the Minnesota Vikings, which looked pretty unlikely if you looked at the situation about 4 months ago. There was a point in time where his agents almost had a fist fight with the people representing the Vikings. And there's a lot of bad blood thrown out there during the offseason. he was really kind of disappointed with Minnesota that they kind of abandoned him when he had all the child abuse scandal going on, which I can't really blame him too much for them wanting to distance themselves a little bit from him. But that's beside the point. He has finally returned to their off-season training activities. I believe they were voluntary, so it's not like he would have been docked pay if he didn't show up yet. But he decided, okay, look, I'm going to play with the Vikings. The Vikings pretty much said, look, you're either going to play with us and you're going to make your $12 million or plus a year, or you're not going to play for anybody and you're not going to make any money. So he said,
That's a pretty severe proposal right there.
Yeah. Make lots of money or make no money. Your choice. And he said, I like money. And I don't blame him. Don't blame him at all. Because, I would like to make lots of money for Minnesota. So what are we going to see out of Adrian Peterson next year? This is almost a blessing in disguise for him because he just took a year off. And at his age, he's about 28, 29. He's usually, for running backs, that's on the downward end of their spiral, their curve right there. And he just got an extra year. So I'm thinking he's going to come back, and he's going to come back pretty rejuvenated. We all saw what he did the year after he tore his ACL, and he only rushed for 2,000 yards. So he's got something to prove.
He took off a year, and so he's rejuvenated, but could that also mean he's rusty? He hasn't been playing with the team enough?
See, that's the thing. I might have said that if he didn't already do it when he tore his ACL. He tore his ACL and then came back the next year and rushed for 2,000 yards. So I think this is – and the last time he tore his ACL, I believe –
again, though.
Well, he should just tear his ACL every other year. I know it's painful, but when he did it in college, he came out as a rookie and rushed for 1,800 yards. So it seems like for Adrian Peterson, he defies the laws of ACLs. And every time he tears it, he comes back and he does way better.
You know what I think it is for him? I think he has a set number of yards that he must reach a year, right? And when he is out for a year, it just rolls over some of it anyway to the next year.
You just got to get a bigger number the next year. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Keep it up. I mean, I wouldn't mind having that. Every other year he comes out and he's amazing. And even not every other year, he's just a really solid player. So look for his fantasy stock to definitely rise. He's still a first rounder. If he doesn't get picked in the first round in your draft, I don't know what's going on there. He's definitely worth a first round pick. But yeah, so it's not surprising to see. And this is a good situation for him because the Minnesota Vikings are building a team. They got a younger quarterback in Terry Bridgewater who hasn't been spectacular, but he has shown flashes. The wide receiving core is not quite where you want it to be, but again, you do have some good young talent in Cordell Patterson. So that's going to be nice. And the defense is solid. Minnesota likes to have a solid defense. So I don't see them, being crazy good. But if Adrian Peterson comes out and has 1,900 yards and let's say about 12 to 15 touchdowns, they could be a playoff team. I mean, very, very dark horse playoff team, but they could be a playoff team. So I think that him making the decision to say, okay, I'm going to stop making this as a distraction about the time where you have to, because if he keeps it going anymore, it's going to bleed over into the season. He might get a little resentment from his teammates for not being there all year. And he decided, okay, I'm going to cut it out now, and we're going to move on, and we're going to have a good year. So smart play by Peterson. You tried to get out, couldn't, recognized it, and said, well, I do like money. I will take this money. I do like playing football. I will play for this team. So I think he made the best of a bad situation. But let me know what you think. Do you think this was the right move? Should he have held out for longer? Hit us up. Let us know. Comments down below. Of course, at What's My Face on Twitter. Google Plus, Facebook. Always good ways of getting a hold of us. But let's keep on moving. And let's talk about Cam Newton. Cam Newton. He recently signed a 5-year, $100 million extension, I believe. He is on pace to make about $20 million a year for the next 5 years. Now, this puts him up in the pantheon of a top 5 paid quarterback. And my thing is, I don't know if he deserves it. Now, in the league of the NFL, you see a lot of players get paid for what they have done, and then they don't quite live up to the expectations of their contracts after that. Every veteran that the Redskins signed between 2000 and 2009, every one of them did that. We overpaid, and they underperformed. but it seems like what the Panthers are trying to do here is they're trying to say, look, you've been very good, and he has been very good. He is a game changer. When he is on his game, the Panthers are very hard to beat. You look at his December record, I believe he has the most wins in December games than any other quarterback in the NFL since he entered the league, even more than Tom Brady. So that is pretty spectacular. That means he's clutch. When you need the wins the most, he gets them for you.
Well, kind of. I mean, he hasn't, won them for you enough to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, that's true. But it seems like what the Carolina Panthers are doing is they're saying, hey, look, this guy's on the upward trend. Let's pay him and hope that he appreciates that and tries harder, which hopefully he will. Hopefully he won't say, okay, now I got my money and I can quit. Hopefully he'll say, look, they showed me how much they appreciate me, how much they really want me here by giving me this top 5 quarterback money. Let me go out there and do my best to earn it. And I think it's kind of a scheme that you don't see enough in the NFL. And this is a player that they drafted. They did draft him number 1 overall. And they're saying, hey, look, we want you to be part of this organization for the long haul. We appreciate what you've done. It's not, what have you done for me lately, which he has done some good stuff for them lately. Don't get me wrong. He really has. They did make the playoffs last year. Granted, they made the playoffs at like 7-8 or something like that. So that was weird. But they won their first playoff game. Can't hate on them there. But they're really just showing them, look, we appreciate it. Please keep playing for us really hard like you have. And I don't know. I just don't think this is something you see in the NFL enough. Now, is he a top 5 quarterback? No. Is he a Aaron Rodgers, a Drew Brees, a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning? Not quite. And a lot of those guys are on the downward trend, except for maybe Aaron Rodgers. But this also begs the question, what's going to happen with some of these other quarterbacks that haven't gotten their next deal? Because Cam Newton came out, I believe it was the year before you had the Andrew Luck and RG3 and Russell Wilson draft. So Russell Wilson, a guy who's already won a Super Bowl and been to a Super Bowl, whereas I don't see him as a top 5 quarterback. What's going to happen with him? Is he going to get top 5 money? Is he going to get top 1 money? Because he says, well, that's what Cam Newton got. I've done better than him. I should get better, right? Yeah, and stat-wise, if you look at his stats, not so much. And he has had
but in the
one
end,
of the best defenses in the league. He has had the best defense in the league the past 2 years. But you're right. He has a Super Bowl.
Not necessarily fair. It's just, the winners win.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna see something similar for Russell Wilson. Now then you have Andrew Luck. I believe he did already re-up contract extension, and he's getting paid close to $20 million a year, if not $20 million a year. Could be wrong about that, but I believe he did sign another 5-year, like $90-something million contract extension. So that guy's getting paid for being spectacular. Then the other quarterback in that draft was then you had Ryan Tannehill. He was in that draft too. He got paid another 90-something million. The only quarterback that really hasn't gotten re-upped that was one of the high-profile ones was RG3. Now, they did pick up his option for the 5th year, so they're going to pick him an extra $16 million for that. But, we'll see what happens after that. But let me know what you think. Did Cam Newton get overpaid, or is this a good play by the Carolina Panthers? Going ahead and investing in the future. Let us know. Comments down below, of course, at What's My Face on Twitter, Google Plus and Facebook. Always good ways of getting a hold of us. Let's move on to the last story of the evening and switch gears over to another sport, and that is soccer. More specifically, let's talk about FIFA. Now, FIFA has been in the news a lot recently, and that's because a lot of their top executives, especially the American executives, have been getting arrested a lot recently. Now, back in, I believe it was 2012, they arrested one of the top executives for the executive committee, which helps pick where World Cups will be played. And they arrested this guy for like bribery and stuff like that. And then this guy went ahead and flipped on everybody else. So it's been a long investigation, but a lot of this stuff is just now coming out. And back in 2013, a couple of people confessed and said, yeah, we took bribes, we did this, we did that. We coerced other people to vote the way we wanted to. And most of this is centering around the 1998 Olympics and the 2010 South Africa Olympics. So we're seeing a lot of that go on. And then you have FIFA's president, who has been president. He just got elected for his 5th term, which is weird because it was amid all these crazy scandals. He comes out and says, I did not have any part of these scandals. I've been away from that. I have no knowledge of this going on.
Haven't. I mean, come on now. This is FIFA we're talking about. Everyone knew stuff like this was going on the whole way. So
yeah. But he's been maintaining the air of innocence. Well, he gets reelected as FIFA president, and then 5 days later goes ahead and resigns when news of another report coming out and more allegations coming out starts to surface. So this has been very, very interesting. This has kind of been a black eye on FIFA. And I started to kind of think about what this might be. And when you look at a country like America, the bribery and stuff, that is illegal. Those guys are going to jail for some time, or probably not very long, but that is against our moral code. But if you look at around the world, some countries, like, that's just the cost of doing business. That's part of the business transaction. They don't see bribery as an illegal or immoral thing. They just see it as, part of their business. I mean, you look at like here in America, we don't pay our waiters and waitresses very much. They get below minimum wage because they are supposed to be tipped. Now, I'm not saying that these executives don't get paid enough, but like that could be expected. Okay, you are supposed to tip me, and then I push what you want through. So I'm just trying to think of how bad this is, because we're not talking about just our community here in America. You got to expand it out to a global community, because soccer is the biggest sport in the entire world. So should they be punished? Yes, the Americans should be punished, but some of these other places that are coming out, maybe some places in South America, maybe like India and some of these other countries that you've kind of heard some rumblings about, should they be punished for doing business as usual? And again, I mean,
how are you going to punish a country?
You're not. No. You're going to punish the executives.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So don't worry about the country. It's like it might be business as usual for those countries, but FIFA as an organization can act differently. They're the ones receiving the bribes. They don't have to receive bribes.
Yeah, well, that's true. And again, but again, if you're from that country, you're a businessman from that country, you just so happen to land yourself on the executive committee. That is how you know how to do business. That is how it is understood. That is how the customs of the land go. You understand that if you're going to hear something, you're going to get a little bit of something for it.
I can see like someone taking that with them, but again, like it's not everyone in the organizations from a country like that. Well, maybe I don't know, but even so, they can say, well, now we're on the international scale in such a big organization that has such an international face and such big. We understand that we have to keep a different kind of precedent now, be stricter. We're under more eyes, and maybe I think honestly they thought that because they're FIFA, no one was going to ever care. And it seems like most of the countries that do,
I think a lot of it
have
was
been bringing this. And I think that a lot of countries that care more about soccer, to a large extent, have been overlooking it because they're like, it's FIFA.
Yeah, we love our soccer.
FIFA.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're just going to continue to bribe them.
And you're totally correct, though. You are totally correct. It is an international company. They have their own business standards. That doesn't matter what country you're from. You have to follow it. I just don't see it as big of a deal for some of these other countries. For some countries as others. Again, but you are right.
Yeah, probably some of them don't care as much.
Yeah, but you are 100% right.
That's why they're not bringing lawsuits. Yeah.
Because if it is an international group, they should be held to one standard, because they are supposed to act as one governing body of the largest sport in the world, and it can't be a little bit different in one country than another, because then you have no real rule structure or anything like that. So, I mean, it is soccer, so do I really care all that much? No. If it was football people getting bribed to do stuff, I might be upset, but it isn't. It isn't. But let us know what you think. Is this crazy that we even care about this scandal?
Hey,
ESPN has gone nuts about this.
This comes up right before the 2015 FIFA's Women's World Cup opens up.
It's true. That
Saturday.
Is true. Yeah, it opened.
And will it more of them at all? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
It's happening in Canada.
So I wonder how much those Canadians bribed them to get that World Cup. And they are holding a special election because, like I said, Sepp Blatter did resign as president. But their special election is probably not going to be until like December or March is another date I heard. I was like,
was he the guy that, or was it a different executive that said that the that the FIFA's the women's soccer should wear shorter shorts to get more attention?
I don't know. That would be.
I think it was like.
Yeah, if it was that guy, he should have been out a while back. But and you know what? I actually find the Women's World Cup more exciting than the men's.
Because America's won before?
Yeah, because America's better. So I actually do pay more attention to the Women's World Cup than I do the men's. So, But I don't know. Let us know what you think. Hit us up, comments down below. Of course, at What's My Face on Twitter, Google Plus and Facebook. Always good ways of getting a hold of us. And whatsmyface.com. We are there too. But that was kind of a short show. And we're done. That's it. Check out our super special show from earlier this week about the NBA Finals preview. Let you know what matchups to look at. But as always, I am Brian. With me, as always, producer extraordinaire Brendan.
Yo.
And we are going to headbang our way out of this joint. I'm back. Now I can't hear anything again. Good night, everybody.